Hi, how are you? Welcome to a new video. I just got back from watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I think I just got back from watching a top 5 Marvel movie. This is going to be a spoiler and non-spoiler review. My spoiler review will be in the end, and my non-spoiler review starts now. These are just thoughts that are going to come into my head as I'm talking. This isn't in chronological order. I think the first thing I want to say is Angela Bassett deserves some type of award for the performance she just did. What a Queen Ramonda is just a strong God. What a character, what a performance. Wow. Letitia Wright, whatever you think of her, Letitia Wright also kills it. Letitia Wright, she is the emotional center of this movie, and I think she does it to perfection. The emotional scenes that she has several, she just nails, and the first 6 minutes of this movie, are dedicated to Chadwick and T'Challa. That's not a spoiler. And so moving, everything. This movie had the task of grieving not only T'Challa, not only the Black Panther, but also Chadwick. And these actors knew him, and sometimes it feels like these people are not acting. And what Ryan Coogler did with this movie and these actors just feels so genuine, just so good. So good. Speaking of Ryan Coogler, this movie looks absolutely fantastic. There are some shots here where, like, I went with some friends and they probably got annoyed by me saying, but every time I saw, I was like every 5 minutes, like, God damn, what a shot! Like, oh my fuck, like, what? The underwater scenes. The underwater scenes are gorgeous to look at. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful image. Just the imagery, the art style is just wow. I don't mean to make this a DC versus Marvel thing, because I think we've grown past that. But when you have underwater scenes, you're gonna go to Aquaman, and believe me, Aquaman looks gorgeous. The color, the livelihood of everything, the brightness. But there's something about this underwater world that just feels so real, and so they're in the deep trenches of the ocean, and it truly looks like it, and I was just amazed by it. Now that we're talking about the underwater world in Tukulkan in this world, Namor, Namor. Tenoch Huerta, wow. One of the best additions that Marvel has ever done. One of the best characters, one of the best antagonists. I don't know if I would call him a villain. I'll speak more on that on the spoiler section. But wow. Tenoch Huerta's performance is probably my second favorite performance after Angela Bassett. Man steals every single scene he's in. Every single scene he's in, it's his scene. And when there's scenes with Angela Bassett and Tenoch Huerta, do I have complaints? Maybe it's a little too long. Maybe it runs about 5-7 minutes too long. Is that really a complaint? I don't know if that's a complaint. I truly don't. CGI, I mean, looks a little flimsy sometimes. Like, maybe I noticed, like, maybe twice, and so, like, not even so the rest of the movie looks absolutely flawless. Um, the third act, although a better third act than the Black Panther one, there was about maybe a minute where I was like, this maybe doesn't need to be happening at the like. There were a lot of editing where I was like, okay, that's interesting. But I'm telling you, it was like a minute. I don't even know if it was that long. But other than that, I mean, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is a top three MCU movie. I said top five in the beginning. My bad. I meant top three. It's that wow, and in my opinion, a step up from the first film. Okay, I will begin my spoiler review now. Starting in three, two, one. The handling of T'Challa's death was the first 2 minutes of the movie, where Shuri is desperate to synthesize a new herb to save T'Challa, and she doesn't. And Queen Ramonda tells her that T'Challa's with their ancestors, and she stays silent. Is so. I wanted to. Like I'm telling you, the first 7 minutes I wanted to cry. After that, the funeral and the funeral was absolutely gorgeous. It was. I'm telling you, I got teary eyed. The mural of Chadwick, the iconic Wakanda Forever pose on his casket, and I'm telling you, this movie made it feel like a celebration, not just grieving, which I think is a perfect way to encapsulate what Chadwick Boseman's passing costs on a lot of people. Not just T'Challa, and I think they managed to portray that beautifully here. The dancing, the lively music, while we have our main characters crying and grieving, was just. Oh, and the Marvel intro with just kind of like how when Stan Lee died and in Captain Marvel they did that. Well, with Chadwick they do the same thing, but the intro is silent. It is dead silent. There's no sound. Wow. Let's talk about Ironheart for a second. Going into Ironheart, I'm not gonna lie to any of you. I think Ironheart in the comics I'm not a big fan of. I think it also I haven't really read a lot of Ironheart. I think I read the first issue when it came out 2014. But I thought she was great here. I thought she was amazing. Her chemistry with Okoye and with Shuri is really really good. It's really they really have this like. Riri Williams is the comedy relief of the movie, as well as M'Baku, and I think she works perfectly. I wished they would have mentioned a little more why she went to the Iron Man style, but I'm pretty sure they'll tackle that more in her own show. Everett Ross, he's okay. The Everett Ross and the Julia Dreyfus character is the part of the movie where I was like, okay, I don't really care for these people, for these guys. Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, we probably care what Val has to do with the Thunderbolts, but they said not a lot here other than the fact that she's working for the government and she's shady. But that's pretty much it. I'm telling you, Everett Ross and Val, I could have gone without. Let's talk about Namor. In the middle of the second act, they explain Namor's origins. They mention that he's a mutant, which I went crazy for. Um, they tackle the slavery with the Spanish conquistadors, and I thought it was very very well handled. They play a gorgeous song in Spanish. No me acuerdo del nombre. Ahorita la voy a buscar. La actuación de Tenoch Huerta, his acting, while he's explaining how he came to be, how he's human, how he can live underwater. Truly, it was probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And his name, they explain how he got the name of Namor, which I thought was genius because, reminder, he's Atlantean in the comics, so they had to change his entire backstory here. And when he's killing the Spanish conquistadors that have taken over his mother's town, El Niño Sin Amor, the boy without love, and he takes the last part of that, Namor. I think that's the way they handled Mesoamerica, the Mayans, the cultures. Just it brought so much joy to my heart because, like, damn, finally getting some. I was so happy. You guys don't understand. Like, this man could do no wrong in my eyes. And then he goes and kills Queen Raimanda, which, again, what a performance by Angela Bassett. When she's stripping Okoye from her duties, when she's talking to Namor about the protection of Wakanda. God, and Letitia Wright's performance when she dies. It's just, I'm telling you, Angela Bassett deserves some type of award for this movie. Something that surprised me that I did not see coming. When Shuri goes into the ancestral plane after she takes the herb, they pan the camera around. Which, by the way, gorgeous scenery in this scene as well. When they pan the camera around the throne, I thought it was going to be Queen Raimanda, but dead. And it turns out to be Killmonger. Michael B. Jordan was back as Killmonger, and I was like, ooh, holy fuck. I was surprised. And I was surprised how effective he was and how important he ended up being in the third act for Shuri's motivation. Michael B. Jordan talks about how all the past Black Panthers were cowards and they didn't have the guts to deal with their problems and how they were pacifists. He shits on King T'Chaka, on T'Challa, and he gives props to himself. And the moral of his monologue was, I had the courage to deal with my own bullshit, as he says. And he asked Shuri, are you going to? Because Shuri's on this rampage to kill Namor for killing her mom. And it's what drives Shuri in the end to nearly kill Namor. And I thought it was such a well acted scene by Michael B. Jordan. I was genuinely surprised. Lupita Nyong'o, she's in the movie. No, Lupita Nyong'o has a few scenes where she really shines. I think everyone in this movie has a scene where they shine. Everyone that matters. Lupita Nyong'o had some good acting scenes when she's with Okoye. When she's trying to save Shuri from the cave. Well acted scenes. I liked Lupita here. She did have more to do here than the first Black Panther. But again, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her performance. I think it was really clever the way that they find a way to move past Namor's strengths, go to his weaknesses, take him to the desert, dehydrate him. He's not much powerful without water. I will tell you, I was terrified because, again, I fell in love with Namor, and I seriously thought they were gonna kill him. I'm glad they didn't, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna come back. Like, why wouldn't he? Everett Ross goes to prison. They bring him out. Okay. I'm thinking if I'm missing anything else. Oh. Shuri becomes the Black Panther. Her suit, in my opinion, is amazing. I think Shuri's decision by the end to not kill Namor is very well constructed. And it makes sense. Like, and again, Letitia Wright's performance really brings this dichotomy of like struggles she's going with, because I was seeing it go both ways. I could have seen it go both ways. She either kills Namor or she doesn't. And you can tell, like, by the way this movie progresses, that she's really having the struggle, and she really at one point tells M'Baku that she's going to like kill him, and I was like, yeah, Shuri is going to kill him, and I truly believed it. But then these gorgeous flashbacks to comparing Shuri's life and Namor's life, how they're similar, and comparing what is it, Tlalocan and Wakanda. Oh my God, did I get that right? Tlalocan, yeah, I think that's it. and how both nations are similar. Just wow, I really like that, and it really won me by the end again. Also, Riri Williams' suit is good. Y'all just mean. And we're probably gonna see it get slimmer and slimmer by the how as time goes on, just like we did with Tony. But yeah, in the end, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was a gorgeous movie, beautifully shot, beautifully acted. This movie not only had heart, it had soul. This was a soulful movie. This is like what I want from like Marvel, because they just showed us they could do it. Like, I don't mind your Love and Thunders, you know. I don't mind your Black Widow. Actually, I do mind your Black Widows. She was awful, but like when you give us something like this, it just sets your standard. Yeah, this movie is fantastic. I definitely recommend it. You should go watch it. Um, Top three MCU easily. Top three MCU. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me what you thought about the movie.